I've told my wife and other people, who am I to judge people that may or may not continue to smoke? I mean, it's just not my place to do that, because I smoked for all those years. And who am I to judge those who might continue to do that? However, I would ask them to take a good, close look, because I, like thousands and thousands of other people, it wasn't going to happen to me, but it did. I'm David Langenfeld, David John Langenfeld. Everybody calls me DJ or Deej from David John. Born and raised here in Watertown, but after I got out of the service, I ended up in Wisconsin playing music on the road for 9 or 10 years, and I was in Wisconsin for almost 40 years. And moved back here 8 or 9 years ago. I live in LaBolt, which is about 30 miles northeast of Watertown. And I got tired of living in a town of 60, 70,000 people, and I didn't even want to move back to Watertown. So I live in a little bitty town, a population of about 75 people. And what brings me here primarily is I've had over a 50-year history of smoking cigarettes, which I'm certain to some degree that has caused my presence in this room this morning. And after some cancer treatment, like I say, caused, I'm sure, in part by smoking cigarettes and other lifestyle habits that I had as a musician and when I wasn't a musician. But I felt okay, but I knew something was not right in my throat or my sinuses. And so we started by seeing the VA doctor and prescribed some sprays, a couple of different ones, and they helped only minimally. And I just knew something. It was almost like I had a popcorn hull that was stuck in the right side of my mouth or tongue, and that wouldn't go away. So one night I depressed my tongue with my finger as far as I could, and I knew I saw something that shouldn't be there in the back on the right side. So I managed to get an appointment with Dr. Menzel out at Mallard Point. At first, I stopped there in March. He wasn't going to be able to get in until May, but I ended up going in that Friday because he saw something on my medical history that must have alarmed him. And got in that morning, and he put a camera down my throat and through my nose, and saw some things that he kept saying, I have concerns. And I knew exactly what he meant, but he wouldn't use the word cancer, and I understand why. Nothing definitive at that point. So we ended up, we knew we had to biopsy it, so I took a physical to make sure it'd be okay to do the biopsy, because they had to put me under to some degree. And the biopsy was positive for cancer, and there was a tumor approximately where my right tonsil used to be. So, and like I say, nothing really hurt other than a sore throat and a little difficulty swallowing after the biopsy. But then Dr. Menzel had kind of a triage with Dr. Brindle at the Cancer Center and Dr. Amin and their staffs, and they asked me what I wanted to do, and I told them, I'm going to do whatever you folks tell me to do. So I ended up coming to the Cancer Center here at Prairie Lakes. I think I started in early April or late March, and I did 30 radiation treatments, 5 days a week for 6 weeks, and 1 time a week for 6 weeks chemotherapy. I've often thought, since I've had a cancer treatment here at the Prairie Lakes Cancer Center, referred by Dr. Jared Menzel, I've often thought, unless of course the circumstances would have to be very, very unique, is why would anybody from this area, within 50, 60 miles of here, go anyplace else for treatment for cancer, regardless of the kind. Top-notch, top-of-the-line equipment, the latest technology. I never picked up from one person at the Cancer Center that they didn't want to be there that particular day. They all gave me the impression that they loved what they did, and they really took good care of me. They explained everything that they were going to do and what it was probably going to be like, and I just, top-notch, top-notch. And I'm glad I went where I did.